Okay, everybody, we have 10 minutes to air.
Ow!
Oh, what? Oh, ah.
You stepped on me. Right on my face. Give me a little bite.
Knock it off.
Ah!
Like, what's your deal anyway? What are you supposed to be?
Long ago, I was human like you. I heckled a talk show taping and a gypsy cursed me to forever be trod upon by television personalities.
Well, that doesn't explain why you're trying to eat my foot.
Back in the 60s, some long-haired, barefoot hippie stagehand stepped on one of my nails. Now I have a taste for human blood, and I must feed.
I said knock it off. You're not interrupting an episode of #HotSeat on my watch.
I've learned not to heckle anymore. I'm not a dick, okay? But I will heckle your show if you don't give me some of that sweet crimson human life juice.
Okay. Look, if you promise to keep quiet, when we wrap up, I'll let you eat an intern.
Every step you take, I'll be under you. I will.
It's #HotSeat with Tristan Yonce. The show where we put the panelists on the spot and make them hot under the collar. Tonight's special guests, Chloe Tuck and Andrew Aghapour. I'm Shane Smith, and now welcome your host, Tristan Yonce.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Shane, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Shane Smith. You've been working out a little bit, I hear.
I have. I've been getting up real early in the morning with my wife. I realized it's about time. I'm almost 40.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cheers, bro.
You're supposed to say, what?
You?
Me? At this point in my life, I'm skinny, but I'm like real out of shape.
Okay.
Like I realize I'm like the human equivalent of a McRib. Like that's why I'm like skinny on the outside. You can see my ribs a little bit. I'm a little saucy, and I'm mostly hairless. Just like a McRib. And then on the inside, I'm just full of pork fat. That's what I'm at.
Well, that's Shane Smith, ladies.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Where did you get that? Did you have that the whole time?
Yeah.
I'd like to. No, I'm good. Okay. I'd like to bring out our guests for this evening, Chloe Tuck and Andrew Aghapour.
All right.
Hi. Hello. Welcome to #HotSeat.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No problem. We'd like to take a minute to get to know you guys, but we're going to go on with the first game instead.
Okay.
Keep you on your toes. This is the game of good news for people who love bad news. And how this is going to work, I'm going to read some headlines plucked from today's news, or this week's news, or the news of recent events. And you're going to tell me if it's good news or if it's bad news and why you think this. So if you're ready, your first headline: a Utah woman found the head of a snake in a can of green beans.
Ooh, I'm going to say good news, because that sounds like some kind of flavor that you would put in something.
Right, that's like a Southwest style.
Yeah, like instead of ham, snake head.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's bad news though. I think that's bad news because a couple things. One, when you go for green beans, maybe you're a vegetarian. You don't want a snake head all up in your beans.
Sure.
But more importantly, the snake was famously the animal that seduced Eve into committing original sin. And green beans are wholesome. They're from the Midwest. They're supposed to be pure. And that is the worst thing that you could have in your pure green beans is the embodiment of cardinal sin.
All evil.
Yeah.
Okay, your next headline. Shia LaBeouf.
Good news.
Minus 25 points. Shia spent 24 hours in an elevator as part of a performance art piece.
I think it's great news.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think
I guess
everybody.
that shows where I stand. Go ahead.
Well, think about this. Who else gets to enter into a thing that physically represents their career, going up and down, up and down? If I wanted to get on something that represented my carir, I would have to slowly. Right? Yeah, exactly. That slowly lowered me to the ground. And he found the perfect thing for him. So I think that's great.
I mean, I guess I went with bad news because I feel like Mission Impossible probably already did it. You know, like an elevator.
Right.
That was a good elevator moment. Nothing's gonna top that.
Well, no spoilers, Chloe.
Yeah.
And that's how it ends.
I agree with you, though. I think it's bad news because, like, any one of us could end up on that same elevator. And no one wants to be stuck on an elevator with that clown.
I think it's good. Because you know why? I'll tell you. That's what we're doing here, right? It means I've done a lot of performance art. I just never knew it.
All right.
I'm an artist. I was once in the bathroom for 8 hours. I'm an artist.
Great. Okay, a river in the Amazon was found with water so hot it boils people alive if they fall in. And it's called, and this is true, the Boiling River. Actual name. Good news, bad news.
I mean, that just sounds like bad news.
On paper, it does. You're right.
I'm gonna be honest, that sounds like people soup.
I think this could be good news because it means that some of my nightmares come true.
Okay, and this is your throwback headline from 1910, the year 1910. A Louisiana representative has tried to start a hippo meat industry in the U.S. He wants to ship 100s of hippos. 100s. That's my shorthand coming back to bite me, ladies and gentlemen. 100s of hippos from Africa to the Gulf Coast. How do you feel about that?
Good
Bad
news. Why is it bad news?
I mean, hippos? That just sounds very difficult.
I think it's good news because hippos are disgusting from what I can tell based on these
vicious?
Well,
shows.
why is that good news to eat one then?
Because it means there are fewer of them alive in the wild.
They look chewy to me, I think.
I would think that a hippo is much better used as metabolized human calories. Maybe someone doing a good job at something than as a nasty old hippo. Hippos are the worst. I would rather it be a burglar who has eaten a hippo and is burgling me than actually be a hippo out in the wild. That's how gross they are. They don't help.
Bold anti-hippo stance. Yeah. That's the game of good news for people who love bad news. Shane, what do you think we take some time to get to know these cats?
I think we should do that.
And meet our panel. You're typically like a really happy, kind of positive guy, at least in my experience. What is something that you hate? Like something that is really...
I just moved recently. I moved to the suburbs.
No one likes moving.
No one likes moving. I even love the suburbs, though. I thought I was going to hate it. I thought I was going to hate moving because I've always lived in the city, and I was like really sad about not being in the center of things. And I love like my weird little life. I walk the perimeter of my house, and I just check on the gutters, ask my dad how to fix things. I also hate.
You sound like a house arrest. You sound like you're like in between that you're trying to pry off that little anklet.
Yeah, self-imposed house arrest. Yeah.
Well, that's infuriating, Chloe.
Yeah.
Your last name is Tuck.
It is.
And historically, last names are like the profession of your ancestors, right? Their last name. So what is the deal there?
Well, I tell people because they often mishear my last name, and then I'm like tuck into bed, and then I also make this hand motion, and that doesn't help. I'm like, "What is that?" And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Tuck in bed." And they're like, so I guess I'm gonna go with that, tucking into bed.
Tucking people into bed. So
yeah.
A bunch of babysitters then.
Yeah, like a whole family.
I was thinking maybe
tucks.
belt enthusiasts.
Oh, that's nice.
So I'm glad it's something that's a little more, applicable.
Yeah, it's an important job. And it's
Tucking people
where
in.
my family comes from.
Do you carry on that tradition? Do you tuck anyone in ever? All right. Andrew, I wanted to ask you something else. You have a profile on religiousdispatches.com?
Yes. Yeah, I'm a writer there.
Okay. Which sounds to me like, I don't know, like if a Girl Scout troop had like theological patches, like dispatches.
You're circling that because it's so good.
Right. I mean,
like
let's
it.
put it in the next episode.
Clearly, yeah.
Yeah, so I write for Religion Dispatches, which is fun because you get to write about like all the crazy stuff that happens every day in religion. I've yet to have a Girl Scout religion. What was the joke? It's that.
Yeah, at this point, I don't even know what the joke was.
I remember. You want me to- Dispatch. Right
Oh,
here.
Dispatch.
You didn't get it.
Dispatch. That's good.
It's a play on the name of
See, it's better than you thought. Yeah, see, you're
Maybe I
laughing.
should have delivered it the way you did.
Yeah.
Or like if you're at a hospital and there's a dying kid, I know, and then you're like, hey, but don't worry, there's gonna be a fun clown. Dispatches. Patch Adams. No,
Oh.
okay.
So you saw that we were in a hole and you decided
I thought let's dig a little deeper and see where we go.
He had dying kid and then he brought up Robin Williams. How deep in that hole go? It's gonna get sad, folks.
pallor over the audience.
Yeah.
I know I did this before the show, but I always like, this is my Periscope, So I like to...
Like we were talking about the app before the show, just for a little context.
It's never been an app. It's always been my finger, but I've imagined that there's like a little camera.
Were you like in the bathtub? Where did this come from?
I think it was like, I don't know. Or like, I'd be like, if I couldn't see, because I'm short, although I feel tall, but I have to face the reality that I am short.
Sure.
So I think it was like, I can't see over there. And so I would like hold my finger up, and then I would like move it around like that.
Chloe isn't here, Mrs. Torrance.
It's real adorable as a little kid.
Yeah.
And then you get older.
Not so
I
much
am
now.
26.
That's our panel, folks. We're gonna have more hashtag hot seat right after this.
So let's just let's find out what you're let's go for it.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kyla Taylor, and this is Heroin History.
Are you okay?
Oh. I'm gonna be telling you about Juliet Gordon Lowe. She was the founder of the Girl Scouts in 1911. I mean, she kicked ass. Juliet Gordon Lowe was a badass. And she's like, hey, I pave the way for women. And they're all like, there's no women, there's no way. No, you can't get past us. And she was like, no, I'm gonna do it. And so she did. And Girl Scouts have now been around for over 100 years. That's so old. She paved the way for women. The boys can be scouts. I think the girls should be scouts too. Look, little girl.
That promo may have looked fun, but that's actually the entire episode. This is the game of Chang and Eng and Jenga. For this game, we've asked our panel to portray the famous historical conjoined twins, Chang and Eng Bunker, who traveled in sideshows in the 1800s and eventually settled in North Carolina. There's a museum in Mount Airy. Thanks. So the conjoined twins are going to be playing Jenga, Chang and Eng, on the Jenga, and they're going to tell us about their sideshow history. I have some questions for them about why they chose. First of all, they're from Siam, or what used to be called Siam, and why the term Siamese twins exist. So how do you two feel about that?
That's right.
I love that.
This is like your place in history,
Yeah.
Feel free to Jenga, by the way. Go
I
right ahead.
hate that. I really wish that they would remember us for something other. I'm going to go higher. I wish they remembered us for something other than the fact that we happen to be conjoined. I have my own thriving business.
Sure.
That no one remembers. I was a butcher. And you complained about it the whole time.
You smelled this side of me, of us. Smelled awful, like meat. And I also felt like we were good as a team.
I couldn't hate you more right now. Let me help you with that.
You're always there for me. This is why we should be remembered, for being joined together.
I read that one of you has 11 kids and one of you has 10 kids.
Yeah.
Do you want
That's a lot of action for a lot of bodies that are...
And we're males?
Yes, yeah. You sure are.
Basically, we went splitsies and would alternate.
You had between two houses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right. And I was the lucky number 11.
Mm-hmm.
I had sex 11 times. You had sex 10 times.
So every time you had sex, you had a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It really worked out great. This North Carolina is full of
Delightful people.
fecund people, and we're just so happy to be here.
Yes, we love the fecundity of this state.
I'll ask you to watch your language. Could you both go at the same time? Could you Jenga at the same time? I know you have the twin brain thing going on. And what about some of your fellow sideshow performers? What were their gimmicks and what their personalities?
There's the bearded man. He was not that successful because it wasn't that interesting.
Sure.
There was
Lizard lady.
oh, she was just so good at crafts.
Lovely.
Yeah,
I opened my eyes.
Well, we should do our trick. We should do our close eyes
Okay,
trick.
yeah, let's, okay. We're gonna close our eyes, and then we're gonna do the trick.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Chang and Eng and Jenga, everybody. And I think after such a wonderful display of pulling that thing out with your eyes shut, I'm gonna put Chloe Tuck in the hot seat. Okay, Chloe Tuck, you're in the hot seat. How does it feel?
It feels good.
Excellent. Okay, this is the game of Droid or Derringer. It's either going to be a character from Star Wars and its expanded universes, or a gun of some sort. Like, like AK-47, R2-D2. You get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so your first droid or Derringer,
Okay.
as it is, AVS-36.
Ooh, gun.
That's right, it is a gun. It's a Russian gun from 1936.
I knew it.
TC-14. That's TC, then a dash, and then 14.
I wonder why you told me about that dash.
They all have dashes. I just forgot the first time.
I'm gonna go with droid.
That is a droid. It's from the Phantom Menace, apparently.
I knew that too.
Sure. SM-22. SM-22.
Gun.
That is a droid. It's a stenographer droid from the 1996 expanded universe novel Shield of Lies. Star Wars. TK-421. TK.
Droid.
That's neither. It's a stormtrooper.
What?
And the last one, XT-531.
XT.
XT-531.
Okay. Oh man, XT. Would that be a gun? That seems ridiculous. I'm gonna go with droid.
That's right, but technically it's a Motorola Android phone. So that's Chloe Tuck in the hot seat, folks. Okay, folks, now here I'd like to do another game with these guys. And it's called BC or AD. And we're gonna pose some things to you, and you're gonna tell me if they came from BC, before Christ, or AD, an ad, some sort of advertisement.
That's clever.
Thanks. And you know what it is before Christ, or what it's an ad for, what have you, you know. A tiger is practically domesticated and welcomed into a family house. BC or AD?
I'm going to guess BC.
Oh, that's what I was gonna do.
Because, and I'm going to guess that it was some type of narrative about taming your desires.
Actually, that's an ad for Frosted Flakes. They're great. A bunch of youths communicate via small pictograms.
That feels ad-y because small pictograms. That sounds like a coloring book or something.
It says here BC for hieroglyphics because King Tut was like, 14, 13 years old. But I think as an ad, it should count as an ad for color forms. When I was growing up, I remember.
Or Shrinky Dinks, remember those?
Yeah, Shrinky Dinks. Not edible.
Not digestible.
Okay. I see. Humans discovered new way to keep warm.
I'm going to guess it's an ad for a slanket.
That's exactly what it is. Ad for a snuggie. That's exactly what it says. I also would have accepted invention of fire, though.
That's what I was thinking. It
BC.
seems too obvious.
I thought this was clever, Chloe. Flip-flopping on me. Okay, and finally, men feast and revel, celebrating a plentiful harvest.
I picture it as an ad with bountiful food and for something like cranberry sauce or something. So you see the spread and then it's like cranberry sauce.
What do you think?
I think it's an ad for the Bible. This is what men do.
Well, you're both half right. It's an ad, but it's for the Subway $5 foot long.
Yeah.
That's the game of BC or AD, folks. That's how that works. And just because he looked so cute in that one, I'm going to put Andrew Aghapour in the hot seat next. We have Andrew Aghapour in the hot seat, folks. This is the game of Peep Show. And how this is going to work, you're going to be reading a portion of a Shakespeare sonnet while constantly shoving mystery-flavored peeps into your mouth. No breaks, one after the other. Stuffing peeps.
Great.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you in case something goes wrong, Chloe Heimlich Aghapour.
She's got that finger sweep.
Right. And incidentally, Chloe Heimlich Aghapour could be a great name for your first child. I think.
It's really sweet.
If you want to name it after your experience here. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, a portion of Shakespeare's Sonnet 75. Start stuffing.
So are you to my thoughts as food to life? Or food to silence? Or to the ground? These are really big.
Yeah, keep stuffing, keep stuffing.
and it is my favorite place. It's usually a lovely sound. Some are also featured on your site. Enjoying by 2 stars. So look, suggestions. And please go right. Hey, what is fun? You mustn't book. And gluttony on all the way.
There you have it, folks. Bravo. Take a bow for that. And you can just spit all that again. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to do the final game of this episode. This is the game of Specialer Olympics. And how this is... and we're going to ask our panel to portray sports news commentators. The Summer Olympics are going to be in Rio this year. That's not Reno, that's Rio. And they're always changing things up. We're going to be telling you some of the new games that they have in the Summer Olympics, and you're going to be providing some color commentary from the sidelines as a sports announcer. So your first new sport added to the Olympic game, they're doing it right out there. Competitive vaping.
So a lot of douches in the crowd tonight.
Yeah, I'm getting a strong douche vibe side of
Yeah, there's James Maddox. He's a well-known vapor, makes his own stuff out of his basement. Unemployed, so able to be here at a moment's notice. And not wearing any shoes. I don't know if that's for speed.
Well, you know, a little something you don't know about this is that shoes actually are supposed to be left off for this game.
Really?
Actually. We also have a lot of corduroy pants being worn. And vests. Vests are a must in this game.
Strange juxtaposition. Corduroys you associate with elegance, bare feet.
That you do.
A lack thereof, and yet all coming together in this event.
It's really something very extraordinary to see. I don't know about you, but I feel lucky just sitting here and watching it.
I'm just wondering how my career ended up taking me here.
Okay, it looks like they're switching up events out there. Seems like they're starting up the javelin relay.
That's a lot of blood.
Wow.
I don't feel safe, but I also feel excited.
Yeah, frankly, I think they should have known signing up that was going to happen. But we got a lot of just sad faces. Performing in this event. It's as if they want this to go wrong.
Well, I'm seeing a very pale face from what I think might be a dead man. Javelin is hard. It is hard to do.
Right. No, actually, that's James Maddox, the vapor.
Oh, there we go.
He's now just a dead guy on the field. Okay.
It is still an honor, though, to be among the dead in this competition.
That's the game of Specialer Olympics. While Shane is tabulating your final scores.
So I'm adding it up, Tristan.
Excellent.
I'm getting all the scores in. Don't cheat. Sorry. All right, it looks like after the 12 rounds, Chloe scored 900 and Andrew 901. Wow. So the winner today is Andrew.
Andrew Aghapour, let's hear it for him.
Very close.
Let's hear it for Chloe Tuck as well. You can find us online at HotSeatShow.com or at HotSeatShow and all your fun social media things. Thank you for watching.